Hi, and welcome to the Reiki from the Farm podcast brought to you by me, Pam Allen-LeBlanc from Hidden Brook Farm. I am a scientist, a businesswoman, and a licensed Reiki master teacher with the International Center for Reiki Training. Each week in this podcast, you'll be entertained as you learn about a wide variety of relevant Reiki topics, helping you become a more knowledgeable and effective Reiki practitioner. We caution you, though, this podcast may also dramatically improve your life, and we are so happy that you're here. So, welcome everyone on this winter solstice. It's such a special and important time to be together, and I'm so delighted with how many of you showed up today. I'm excited to have you here and to celebrate this solstice with you. Solstice is something that, and equinoxes have always been special to us on the farm. This is where when we usually hosted our Reiki shares, I just find that at the change of the seasons, almost all animals need a little extra support. So this is, for instance, with our horses, when we might do a raindrop essential oil technique on them. Every change of season, it's just a little bit tougher. And I definitely notice this with humans as well. So I'm just really excited that you can be here with us today on this solstice. Before we go too far, I just want to let you know that if you are thinking of coming to Africa, there is some space. We have room for 4 more students. It's actually really reasonably priced with everything. It includes a safari, Sweetwaters afterward. And I just want to say thank you to Christy for working so hard to pull that together for us. We have 4 people registered, which means that it is a go ahead. And for anybody really interested, just stay after in this event, and we will be just answering any of your questions and so on. You might also be interested in Reiki, but not be in a position to go to Africa right now. But we've got you. In January, there's a Reiki level 1 and 2 and Reiki masterclass between the 17th and 22nd. The masterclass is online in the evenings, which just makes it a little bit easier for people to fit around busy work schedules. And the level 1 and 2 class is a weekend. And then that's followed by a weekend Animal Reiki 1 and 2 class and an Animal Reiki class in the evenings, January 24th to 29th. And I'm teaching animal communication a little bit more often than I normally do this year. There's a 1 and 2 class, January 31st and February 1st online. This is a weekend class. There's an animal communication level 3 class, which is for professional practitioners, February 3rd and 4th online in the evenings. And then we also have Healthcare Reiki, February 7th and 8th, which is online on the weekend. So I would just love to have you join us for any of those if they speak to you. So today we're talking about the solstice, and we're together at such an important time of the year. This is the time of the pause. And what I'd like us to do today together is just release 2025 and welcome in the light. And it's such a big year this year. And there's a few things that I want to make you aware of if you're not already. So just so happy you can be here with me live this morning, and those who are listening after. We all know that this is the shortest day, the longest night. It's the turning point back toward light. But what you may not be aware of is that this is the end of a 9-year cycle. And so if you look at numerology, this has been a 9 universal year. So think for a minute where you were 9 years ago and realize that this cycle has ended. So there's so many things that are happening right now that make our time together today really powerful. Next year, we're moving into a new 9 year cycle in 2026, into a one universal year. But we also, last night was the third micro new moon in a row. Now, new moons are a time to let go. And so, astrologically, we've had quite a few things going on, but the new moon tells us that it's a time to salute the progress of the last 12 months and to just think about some of the things that you're proud of. And we're going to do a little journaling exercise around this as well. In addition to that micro new moon, the letting go, Three Eye Atlas is a comet from outside of our solar system. And that is the closest to the Earth. It's still twice as far away as our sun, but because it's from another solar system outside of our solar system, it's going to be stirring up like an ancient frequency of energy. And what my sources tell me is that's the frequency that helps us align with our highest potential. So I'm really excited going into this next 9 year cycle, ready to live in my highest potential. So we're honoring and saluting our growth. We will probably also get some guidance around this weekend to do something for yourself, something with meaning, something sacred. And that might be just being here with me today. It might be a sacred honoring of the work we do together, or it might be something else that is important to you. But I know that we're closing the past 9 years, we're ushering in a new era. And one of the things that's really important about this era that we're going into is that we do not need any external approval in this new era. And so, what that means is we're entering an age, and Colleen Benelli has been saying this for quite some time. We are entering an age of an inner authority. But we're really and truly stepping into that age of the inner authority right now. And yes, it's the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. And I also want to keep in mind that for our friends and cousins in the southern hemisphere, it's their summer solstice. But in any event, this is the time of the pause. And so today is the pause, and it's a shifting back. And I know that people celebrate it the 20th, the 22nd. I always tend to stick with the 21st. So as we enter into this age where we no longer, and everything else is still, whether you're in the southern or northern hemisphere, it's the same for all of us. Whether you are, as we enter this time where we don't need external approval, what that means is that it's going to be a time of soul guidance. It's a time where life meets us where we are, where what we need to reveal reveals itself effortlessly. It's a time of authenticity. And most importantly, maybe it's a time of trust. And trust has been coming up in my sessions a lot lately. So I know that it's something that I'm working with right now. Just trust of yourself, trust of others, trust of life, trust of abundance, trust that everything is going to be okay. And when I go back 9 years, actually, 9 years ago in 2016, that was when I received the message to become a licensed teacher with the ICRT. And so this has been this beautiful, wonderful 9 year cycle of being a licensed teacher, and Stacy said her energy also shifted dramatically 9 years ago. So yes, some of you are probably having some light bulbs coming on right now as you think about what was I doing 9 years ago. I actually had to sit down and think about it, and I went, oh wow, that's when I got the message to become a licensed teacher. I didn't become a licensed teacher. It took me a couple of more years before I was qualified and before I could apply and be accepted into the licensed teacher program. But what a journey that has been. And interestingly, I just want to point this out, it's a journey that I really resisted at first. And yet it's the best investment I've ever made. in myself beyond the MBA, beyond anything else. And I always put it up there in level of importance of meeting my husband, having the children, finding this farm. It was really interesting. So it's really exciting to think about the next 9 year cycle and where we're going to go. And as we go into this next 9 year cycle, what you're going to find is that the insights, they just unfold naturally. This is, again, this is not an era of an external authority, it's the inner authority. We no longer need external approval. So it's going to be a time when we go much deeper into ourselves, where we tap into a deeper knowing and where our truth, the truth of who we are, really becomes embodied. So, right now, today, we're in this really still, potent space together. And I'm so delighted that 30 of you have shown up to be in this space together. Thank you. So, this is a really special weekend. It's about raising our consciousness, our the lessons. It's just we're going to do a quick review, and there's more people still coming. We're going to do a quick review of the lessons that we learned in 2025, and then we're going to just shift that to an inspired renewal as our awakened 2026 life path deepens and develops. Now, 2025 has been a very interesting year, and wherever you are on the planet, it's probably been chaotic. And if you think about it, things often can get chaotic as they're shifting, as they're leaving, as they're winding down. So that I think has been what has been happening. And so as we do this review, and we are going to do a deeper review together in our regular Reiki share on January 1st. We actually are going to get together at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, January 1st. I hope you can join me. Bring a journal. Hopefully you have a journal today as well, because we're just starting the process today and we're going to do a deeper dive into it on January 1st. But this special weekend, there's more going on. There's just so much going on. It's also the next 2 days are the annual Ursids meteor showers. And where that's just after a micro new moon, that brings a quiet, sort of crystalline frequency into everything. So, over the next 24 to 30 hours, the solstice is going to deepen significantly. You're going to probably notice it. We are in the pause, we're in the moment of reset. And if you're here, you're probably ready to welcome that really big recalibration. There's just a triad of energy things happening right now. So, in this stillness, in this renewal, you're probably going to have some deep revelations. We're held in the balance, whether we're in the northern or southern hemisphere. What I want to really invite you to do today is stop striving. So much of what we've been rewarded for in this lifetime has been ambition and effort. And it was pointed out to me several years ago that I spend a lot of time efforting. And with horses, when you're training horses, efforting doesn't really work very well when you're working with horses. They're just so sensitive and they pick up on all of the subtle nuances. And I had to learn to allow, and Sue says you can relate to this, Sue. I love it. I love it. There are no mistakes or no coincidences. So what I'm really going to invite you to do is just receive without force. And so the word that I use for that a lot is allow. And that helps with Reiki. I'm always caught with Reiki in between. I'm not supposed to be attached to an outcome, but it's okay to set an intention. So, where is that space? Where is that middle ground? And the word allow helped me get to that, where I set an intention and then I allow the energy to do what it does, and I allow myself to receive what I receive. And if it doesn't look exactly like what I had hoped for, I also allow that. And I realized that, oh, there's a reason. There's a reason it doesn't look for what I had hoped for. There is a reason that sometimes people don't make it, or all of the difficult things that we have to experience in this lifetime. So I'm going to invite you to just go forward into this new one universal year, just trusting all of the divine signs and messages that you receive. So just shifting back, we went into some astrologically what was happening. Let's just shift our attention now again to the solstice. Here, the winter solstice is the longest night of the year in the southern hemisphere. The southern solstice, where they're experiencing the southern solstice, is the longest day of the year. In the northern hemisphere, darkness reaches its fullest point. In the southern hemisphere, light reaches its fullest point. After this, nothing more is added and something begins to shift. Now, if we look at Taoist wisdom, this matters. When anything reaches an extreme, it doesn't keep going, it turns. And so just think about that for a minute. We've been in some extremes recently. If you're paying attention to what's happening in the world, it seems very extreme. It doesn't keep going, it turns. So, inside the deepest darkness, the first spark of light is present. Inside the most light, the first spark, bit of seed of darkness is there, getting ready to expand. Nature shows us how to deal with this. It's not action or momentum. Instead, we're in a point of possibility. We're in a field of all possibilities right now. So, in the winter hemisphere, we're not pushing or striving. We're settling inward. We're conserving energy. We're listening. In the southern hemisphere, you probably are getting more extroverted. You are getting out there more. Enjoy that. Nature shows us how to do that. In the winter, the sap sinks. In the spring, it comes out. In the winter, seeds rest beneath the soil. In the southern hemisphere, they're in full bloom for you. Everything slows, everything quickens. And our bodies know this too, even if our schedules don't match. So, here in the northern hemisphere, it's a season of less words, fewer words, warmer meals, earlier nights, and allowing things to be unclear, realizing that they're stirring under the snow, they're resting. Stillness now isn't stuckness, it's gathering. Think of it as gathering strength, gathering resources, gathering. So enjoy the stillness. In the Southern Hemisphere, enjoy the friendships, the reconnections after a time of being still. And so, one of the questions you might want to ask yourself right now, just ask it silently. You can write it down or not. What part of me wants to be left alone for a while so it can grow in its own time? And you can do this whether you're in the southern or northern hemisphere. What part of me wants to be let alone so it can grow in its own time? One of the things I realized when we were working on that house is that there is nothing like a false deadline to put stress on things. And I started looking at my to-do list, and I watched a podcast where it was explained that most people's to-do lists are wish lists. And we normally put about 3 days worth of work on a to-do list, and then we stress ourselves out if we don't get to it all in a day. And I looked at my to-do list. That's exactly what I've been doing all my life. And then I'm constantly feeling like I'm behind. And yet, if I look back, I have a little book that I keep with my to-do list. And if I look back at all of the things, that's a lot of things on a to-do list. For those of you who aren't watching on YouTube, I'm just holding up yesterday's to-do list, color coded, of course, because why not? And the fact is that some of the things got done, and the next day, some of the other ones will, and some of the other ones will. And so I realized, wow, this is a wish list. And I remembered a long time ago reading a book called The One Thing, or I don't know if I read the book or listened to it or listened to a presentation on it, but it's basically if you just take one really important thing every day. And William Rand told me this. I said to him once, "You must be the busiest Reiki master on the planet." And he said, "Actually, I'm not. I do the most important thing every day, and then I give my self time to rest and relax." And William talks about how important that downtime is. And that's not something that I'm really good at. I was raised with a workaholic father, and I definitely adopted those tendencies, but I am learning and I am trying to do better. So, what part of me wants to be let alone for a while so it can grow in its own time? And because the solstice reminds us nothing is staying frozen forever. The longest night, the return of the light has started. The shortest night, it's starting to expand. So for right now, I'm just going to invite everybody to just go ahead and activate Reiki, placing your hands in Gasho if that feels natural to you, or whatever way that you normally activate Reiki. And just bring in any symbols that will bring you balance right now. Might be the power symbol, the mental emotional symbol, the distance symbol, the master symbol, holy fire, karuna symbols, animal Reiki, healthcare Reiki, whatever symbols that are calling to you, invite them to join you now. And just feel your feet on the floor, breathing into your heart. And just take a moment to say thank you to you. You made it here today. And that matters. In fact, over 30 of you made it here today. That matters. And just taking a moment in this space to appreciate that darkness is more of a gestation period, not a punishment. And the light is a time to celebrate. And let's just think about the cycle of the earth: retreat, rest, renew, grow. The seasons. And just think of how often we resist this. We resist the natural cycles, but we desperately need them. And we often resist the quiet. Whether you're in the north or the south, the quiet is very important. We might think of this solstice as a cosmic exhale. And the work we're going to do today is not only for ourselves, but it is for the people in the planet. Notice yourself taking a big, deep Reiki breath in, bringing the symbols and the energy into your body on your breath. And then take a deep cosmic exhale yourself, matching your energy to this energy of the solstice. Then go ahead and place your hands comfortably on your body, giving yourself Reiki as you enter into the field of possibilities, this pause between what has been and what will be. And I'd like you to think about the year 2025. And I'd like you to think about the top 3 or 4 things that worked for you, that really gave you joy, that you're proud of. I'll just stay in this space for a few minutes so you can get those in your mind. You can write them if you need to. What are three or four things that didn't work? They weren't fun. Maybe you're disappointed. Just think about those three or four things now. And then I'd like you to reflect on all of that and ask yourself, where did I grow? Where did growth happen? What am I doing better than I did? And then this might be hard, but think for a moment, were there times that I abandoned myself? That I set myself aside for others, or that I didn't live my truth? And think about those times as well. Some of us are feeling tired and have experienced grief this year. I know I have. Confusion, transformation. That's all right. I'd like you to think also, what am I proud of from this year? And it's there. What did I survive or move through? And if you survived or moved through something difficult, which you probably did, you need to be proud of yourself for that too. And then let's just give a few minutes to consider, what am I ready to start carrying? Maybe old obligations, guilt, resentment, outdated identities. Whatever we're ready to stop carrying, we can place them in this container of darkness and let it go. I made a decision to stop with guilt and shame. These are things that really drove or drive the workaholism. And I realized those are outdated tools of the patriarchy, so I'm just not doing them anymore. And when they show up, which they do, because it's a habit and a pattern, I remind it that, yeah, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm letting you go. Maybe you have some things like that, some resentment, some unforgiveness. to invite you to take a moment and just write down now what you're willing to let go. And we're just going to spend a few minutes here as you do that. And whatever you've written down, you can add to it if you wish, but I'm going to invite you to make a ritual later today of either writing it on a separate piece of paper and burning it, or tearing it in pieces and flushing it. Or you can even just place it under a candle and let Reiki work with it. What we know is that we're turning toward the light in both hemispheres. This is a pivot. The light is returning in the northern hemisphere. The light is waning in the southern, and it's doing it 1 minute at a time. Be open to considering, who am I becoming? What kind of life feels aligned with my soul right now? We're not doing our full-on intention setting. That's January 1st, but we're opening the door right now. What feels aligned? Who am I becoming? What qualities do I want more of in 2026? What is inside me that hasn't been expressed and it's ready to be seen right now? And from this space, we're going to go into our meditation together today. I just invite you to place your Reiki hands back on your body, wherever you feel guided to, and breathe. And just feel your body settle wherever you are. Notice whatever's supporting you, whether it's the chair, the floor, the earth. Just let yourself be held. And allow Reiki to flow through your hands, your heart, filling the room that you're in. Through everyone gathered in this circle across time and space. Each group is divinely ordered. We were all meant to be here together today. Those of you who are here in person and those who will listen later, we just feel ourselves connect in love with Reiki. And we connect with a collective intention of peace on earth. And on your next inhale, wherever you are, just imagine you're breathing in the quiet of a winter forest. Cold, still, fresh air, the soft darkness. The snow or the frozen earth is resting, unbothered and unhurried. We're going to tap into the energy of the winter solstice today, the deepest night, quiet center of the year. And gently bring to mind the year that's closing. Not every detail, just the feeling of your 2025, the themes, the weight, the beauty. And as you continue to breathe in, just imagine that you're holding this year, 2025, in your hands like a book you've just finished reading. You don't have to judge it or fix it. Just acknowledge it. Was it a good book? Did it end well or poorly? Is it a book you want to keep coming back to? Or that you're ready to let go? You might think to yourself, this was my year. The joys, the losses, the lessons. I honor it, all of it. And just see Reiki, or imagine Reiki flowing into this book of your year. Just filling each and every page with light. Anywhere there's pain, Reiki moves in and softens it. Anywhere there was unfinished business, Reiki begins to mend the threads. Anywhere there were difficult relationships, Reiki moves into that as well. Just allow Reiki to move into all that was. And when you feel ready, you can imagine placing the book gently on the earth in front of you into the dark, rich soil of the solstice night. You don't lose it. You just set it down. You're no longer carrying it by yourself. Just notice how much lighter your body becomes as you let it rest here. We're just going to stay in this space for a few moments until the Reiki energy has moved through all the pages of all of our books. And we have all set them down. Above you now, you may see a small soft light. Might look like the first star in a winter sky, or the first hint of sun, dawn on the horizon. This is the returning light, the promise that within the darkness the sun will rise again, that your life will keep unfolding, and new paths are already opening in front of you. Just invite that light to pour gently down through your crown, into your mind, your throat, your heart, all the way through your central channel and each and every chakra, until it moves out through the bottoms of your feet and deeply into the earth. Feel your consciousness go with the light all the way into the earth until it reaches the groundwater beneath you and the bedrock beneath the groundwater. And once it does, just notice that the light picks up the steadiness, the groundedness of that bedrock, that water, and then it bends and turns, coming back up, bringing that steadiness, that assuredness, that rock solid grounding all the way up through your body. all the way up through each and every chakra until it goes above your head into your soul star, the stellar gateway, and beyond. And as it does, it reminds you that you are allowed to grow again. You're allowed to begin again. You're allowed to hope again. And ask your heart, what light in me is ready to return? What part of me wants to be seen in the year ahead? And just notice what arises. Allow. You may get a word or an image, a feeling or a knowing. You may not get much. It might come to you over the course of the next day or two, or week or two. And just allow Reiki to wrap around that inner light, protecting it, nourishing it, holding it just like a seed in the soil in winter. You don't have to force it to grow or know how it will grow. You just have to allow it to grow. And at the same time as we welcome in the light, the future, you might want to say to the Reiki energy, I release what no longer serves me, what I no longer need. I honor the dark, the stillness, as I turn toward the light. And let's just breathe here together. Just allowing this choice to settle into your body. Now as we release 2025 and we look forward to that new 9-year cycle, I invite you to say to yourself the following. Just repeat after me. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be strong. May I live with ease. Once more. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be strong. May I live with ease. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be strong. And may I live with ease. And we'll just breathe here to allow that to settle. And now I invite you to think of your loved ones. Maybe one special person comes to mind, maybe a group of people come to mind. And we wish the same for them. You can follow me. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be strong. May you live with ease. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be strong. And may you live with ease. I invite you to think of someone you find difficult. And we wish them the same. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be strong. And may you live with ease. And we send Reiki along with this. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be strong. And may you live with ease. And I invite you to think of your community and the surrounding communities. And all of the people that live in it, the animals, the beings. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be strong. And may you live with ease. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be strong. And may you live with ease. And now finally the planet itself. We say to the earth, may you be safe. And we send Reiki to that effect. May you be happy. May you be strong. And may you live with ease. Rebecca Campbell invites us to think of the earth as one organism, the people and the plants and the animals, the rocks, the soil, the atmosphere, the earth itself is all one. And with that in mind, we say once more, may you be safe. May you be happy. May you be strong. And may you live with ease. And just open your heart and receive. As each person who is here today sent that love to the planet, they sent it to you. They sent Reiki to you. I wish you a wonderful holiday season. I look forward to seeing you again on January 1st. And I wish you a wonderful solstice. Whenever you feel ready, take a deep breath, bring your hands to your heart, and gently return to the room, bringing with you the wisdom of the dark and the promise of the light. Thank you. Namaste.